Rolling some fresh pasta dough to start the show today. Welcome to a brand new episode of Go. Chef Miles Fadoon in the kitchen at the Shaw Conference Center. I'm your host, Dana Giesbrecht, and we are going to make some delicious spinach ravioli for you on the show today. But the real reason we're here is the next generation of young Alberta chefs will be rolling up their sleeves and tightening their aprons this weekend for the 8th annual High School Culinary Challenge. We're going to learn all the details on the show today. Plus, Miles here is going to show off some of the skills that he learned 8 years ago as a former champion of the competition. Stay tuned for all of that. But first, as a new mom, we all know it's very hard to leave the house sometimes. But a new local program is helping to change that. Here's Shaw TV's Bran McLaughlin. All right, Chef Miles Fadoon is working away on getting our ravioli prepped. But first, as temperatures continue to drop, the Edmonton Humane Society's Animal Protection Peace Officers have their work cut out for them. And now we're going to learn with Shaw TV's Jen McDonald what it takes to keep our furry friends safe in cold weather. Find out what it takes to win the High School Culinary Challenge and all the amazing prizes up for grabs. Plus, we're making a spinach ravioli with Chef Miles Fadoon after the break. A nice healthy chunk of Parmesan cheese. Welcome back to the show. If you're just tuning in now, we're down here at the Shaw Conference Center. This is Miles Fadoon, the past winner of the High School Culinary Challenge, actually won in the original year that the challenge started. Now, if you're just tuning in now, that's what we're talking about on today's show. This challenge hits Nate once again this Friday, February 7th. We're going to learn all about it on the show. Plus, Miles is going to show off some of his talents. We're going to learn how winning this challenge has impacted his career. Stay tuned for all of that. But first, on February 6th, a major cancer fundraiser returns to the capital region, and we're going to learn what has teams playing Canada's most beloved sport for 10 straight days. Here's Shaw TV's Tim Dancy. Thanks for that, Tim. Okay, Miles, before we make
ricotta and spinach ravioli.
Yum, yum. Here's Shaw TV's Dave Dawson with your Go Sports Report. Thanks for that, Dave. Okay, we are back in the kitchen with our chef, Miles Fadoon. Now, you won this competition, the High School Culinary Challenge, 8 years ago, where this is the 8th year for the competition. Do you remember what you made?
We had to make minestrone soup, chicken cordon bleu, rice pilaf, and dessert using chocolate mousse in any way.
And how many teams were there participating at that time?
I think there were only 8 at that time when it first started out, so it's definitely come a long way.
Well, you obviously took the plunge and you followed a career in the culinary world.
I did.
Was that the deciding factor for you winning this competition?
No, I always had an interest in culinary arts prior to doing the competition. It was kind of just a way to get started. Had I not gotten the scholarship, I definitely would have went to Nate to take the full-time program.
But that boost of confidence, winning, I'm sure, was a great pat on the back.
Yeah, it felt good, that's for sure.
Well, you're going to show us some of your skill set today, and we are making some spinach ravioli. What have you done so far, and walk us through?
So I had made a dough yesterday, let it rest overnight, just so it's nice and soft to work with. And then I've just cut them out with a ring cutter here. And I have a filling that I made earlier today as well, just some spinach ricotta cheese as well as Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
So what I like to do is take a ring cutter, slightly smaller than the one that we used to cut out the circle, and just kind of press it down with your thumb in there. Mm-hmm. Take your filling.
Who doesn't love ravioli too?
I know, right?
It's a great wintertime meal.
Absolutely.
Nice and filling, warms your belly.
So take a little bit of the egg wash here, just go around the edge of the ravioli. Take our second circle. Crimp the edges. Now you want to make sure you get as much air out of it as you possibly can to prevent it from busting once it goes into the boiling water.
Okay.
So once I seal off the edges there, just take that first ring cutter and clean off the edges. Make a nice ravioli.
Okay, you want to throw those in the pan, or can I do the honors?
Yeah, go for it. Just into the boiling water.
Oh, into the boiling
there.
water. All right. No rhyme or reason, right? Just in we go. Okay. So then on our frying pan, what's the first step over here?
The first thing we're going to do is add a nice chunk of butter there.
Look at us going as a team here.
That's what kitchen work is, teamwork.
Yeah, you can tell I don't spend too much time in the kitchen, hey?
I'll just add a little bit of shallots here. So just a little bit of white wine into the pan there. and then some cream.
Uh-huh.
And we just want that to reduce and thicken up. So,
What kind of cream are we using?
This is just a whipping cream, 35%.
So these aren't low-cal ravioli.
No, unfortunately not. This one's not good for the waistline.
Okay.
So we're just going to let this reduce a little bit in the pan here.
And how long do these guys take? I see some of them floating.
Yeah, they are floating. They take about a minute and a half. It is fresh pasta, so it certainly cooks a lot faster than a dried pasta that you would use at home would. Just needs another
What are you watching for?
here.
Some bubbles?
Yeah, I just wanted to start to thicken up here a bit, so when we add the pasta to it, it's gonna coat it nicely. While that's going, I'm actually just gonna chop a little bit of the basil here.
I love basil. I just bought my first basil plant for the house. It's so nice to have it nice and fresh whenever you like it.
This cut is what we call a chiffonade, or tiny ribbons is what it translates to. So if we look at the cream here, it's kind of bubbled up. It's starting to thicken. That's exactly what we want. Our ravioli are ready here. Now, a little bit of that pasta water that you've cooked it in is perfectly okay to get in there.
Okay.
It's starchy water, so it's actually going to help thicken up the sauce here.
Well, it's starting to look really good. We're going to have to take a quick break here on Go. Stay tuned. After the break, we're going to plate this dish with Chef Fadoun. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in now, once again, we're at the Shaw Conference Center with Chef Miles Fadoun plating our delicious spinach ravioli we've been making with him throughout the show. And again, Miles is a past winner of the High School Culinary Challenge. That is taking place again this Saturday at NATE, February 7th, where 17 different teams from 17 schools will be showing off their culinary skills with a chance to win a scholarship to the NATE Culinary Program. We're going to have all the details about this competition in just a moment. Wow, oh, look at that. Looks very nice. Beautiful job on the ravioli from Chef Miles Fadoun. Yeah, now that that's plated, we're going to roll right into our last story of the show. We're going to learn how a 500-mile journey in Spain helped 2 Canadian seniors discover the meaning of life. Here's Shaw TV's Bianca Jade. Thanks for that, Bianca. We're now joined by Chef Simon and Christopher Rochford with Civio, and we're going to learn all about the High School Culinary Challenge. Now, first off, one of the things that I find most interesting about this challenge is the fact that all 17 teams will be making the exact same dish. So how does it work?
Well, we are talking about high school students, right? And it's all about skills. We want to promote for them. We don't want them to fail. We want them to succeed. So they all get the same menu. However, you can give the same recipe to 3 chefs, and we will end up with 3 different dishes. So they all get the same thing. This year, they will have to make some raviolis for the first course. They have to make a meatloaf, and then for dessert, they have to use choux paste to make cream puffs or a dessert using choux pastry.
Gotcha. So they're all getting the same ingredients, but they can put a little bit of a twist if they want.
We give them recipes. We want to promote success. We don't want them to fail, so we help them as much as we can. We also have local chefs who go into the high schools to train the kids, and over the years they have done extremely well, and sometimes they do better than professionals.
Exactly. As we saw, Miles today won 8 years ago. Now he has a successful culinary career. Is this a trend you see every year?
Well, the program there is two ways. One, to promote the trade, to become chefs, and also through our scholarship program to find the little gems, the diamond in the rough, that we're going to stay in Alberta, we're going to develop for the province and bring tourists for us and be a great chef, a great ambassador.
And specifically, what is the prize up for grabs, that scholarship?
The scholarships are for 3 years. The program will pay for all of their tuition fees. They work under 3 different chefs. We always pick working chefs who work in a smaller kitchen, so it's a one-on-one training. They work for 10 months, go to school for 2. Then we switch to a different restaurant. So we have some at the Hardware Grill, we have some at the Mark, with all very, very small kitchens in town.
Excellent. And Christopher Rochford with Civio, your organization helps make this all possible by sponsoring the challenge year after year. Why do you think it's so important to foster that talent of young chefs here in the city?
I think Alberta as a whole needs to develop our culinary talent. We have a pretty wide-based industry. Our company alone, we do workforce accommodation for the oil sands and those sort of things, and we're always looking for chefs, up-and-comers, and there's a lot of different different venues within the province in which somebody can expand their career. Myself, I'm a chef too, or was trained as a chef, and it's done well for myself as it has for the other chefs like Simon, Miles. So it's really important to develop young talent and give them the opportunity to be exposed to different facets of the industry.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much to both of you. Before we go, here's your on-the-go calendar. Again, the High School Culinary Challenge is this Saturday, February 7th at NATE. But if you want to sample the winning dishes, you can buy tickets to the big event happening here at the Shaw Conference Center on March 9th. All you have to do is email admin@edmontonchefs.ca. Do so quickly because tickets are limited. Now, the best part of my job is I get to sample the food right now. I've been your host, Dana Giesbrecht. We'll see you next time.